Hey, what's up, people? Early in the AM. What's happening? Hey, listen. I was wondering, thinking about something. I hear a lot of people talking about. A lot of people talk about. They say Jesus. They say Jesus never existed. Um, what do they mean? What do they mean? What do they mean when they say Jesus never existed? What do they actually mean? What was your ancestors here in this land? What were they practicing religiously to cover themselves or partially free themselves? What were they practicing inside of being colonized in this house of the diabolical? You see, what happened? What happened? I hear the people say that Jesus, the J, didn't exist back then when they say Jesus was born. You see. Who did they say, who did Jesus or Yahusha say he was going to send to the people in the future? Who did he say he was going to send? Was it a comforter? Did Jesus comfort your people, your ancestors? Who comforted your ancestors to get you here in this day and time? Were the, well, what happened to the Mongolians that were here during the time of your slavery? What happened to them? Did they go down south? Did they mix with the slaves? Some of them? Were they slaves? The only thing I carry with me, the only thing I carry with me is what exists. And I know that there's a record in the history, a living record and a living history that I can go to, you see. But if I can't go past my father's guardians and their guardians, if I can't go past that point, I'll stay put. That's just me. I'll stay put. I don't want to go no further. I want to stay right where I'm at and know that there's something inside of me that was created by a higher being that enabled me to question A lot of this shit that's out here. Because see, you don't know what's truth or what sounds like truth. Because if you did know what truth is, but then again, see, if Hasatan created an entity and gave him access to the people, you see, what you call them, the Rothschilds, whatever you call that shit, and gave you access to the people and all the things that you earn in your daily work and in your trade, and you put the money in their tank or their bank. You put the money inside of their bank, and these same people create an educational system, you see, to help you commune and help you be wise inside of the imagination of what they wanted the future to be. You see, do you believe in that? Do you believe that happens? Do you believe that it exists? How did the J come before the Rothschilds or after the Rothschilds? I'm just wondering. Did the J, the hook, you know, the symbol kind of like a lam in Islam? I'm just trying to figure this out. You see, because what's happening is, in this day and time, what I'm seeing is that I think those who say they believe in Jesus, I think they actually do. And they actually know what they believe. And they're strong inside of their belief when it comes to Jesus. You have people say that Jesus was a prophet. They say Jesus was God. Yeah, a lot of people say Jesus was like this and Jesus was like that. And then there are those who say Jesus never existed. Who exists to you? Let's just put it like this. Jesus never existed until the 1500s. JESUS 15131. You see. Take that one off, you'll see 1513. So that'd be around about what? 1513. You see, let's just say 1513. It's in the name. You know what I'm saying? When did the slaves, the so-called slaves, come over here or brought over there? When did that happen? What if they had a ship or a boat and they named it Jesus? You see? Who was on that boat or that ship or that canal? You see, listen. These are little written things that's written in this world. But it was a ship called Jesus. Who was on there? You see? What if the people or the being and its offsprings, what if it named you Jesus? What if you were Jesus? What do you How do you love Jesus? What do you think of Jesus from what you studied? What type of miracles did Jesus perform? Or do you look for miracles from Jesus? What do you look for in Jesus? What is a miracle? What do people love to see miracles? Is being a magician a part of entertainment? Is that what they call Yahusha? A magician? You see? A sorcerer? You know, a devil, a demon? What did they call him? And what do they know about the people that look like you and I? What if you were that Jesus and you didn't know you were that Jesus? Can you imagine being the very thing that you said you love, but you actually hate it at the same time because you have someone else's mind? And they believe in Jesus too. They say Jesus looked like them. They just haven't went through what Jesus went through. You see? I heard a pastor say that all the pain that Jesus went through when they was chastising him, saying because he was the irritant to their laws or whatever, or whatever, however it may be. He was an irritant, or they felt he was. But I hear people say that they'll describe some of the things that Jesus went through. You see, going towards the cross. You see, can you imagine taking what happened to you and your ancestors here in this land? Can you imagine yourself going through something similar but 10 times greater than what he went through, or than what the story said he went through? Can you imagine people in the Congo going through what he went through, or something similar to what he went through? You see? What type of power do you have? You say you love Jesus, but for some reason, you can't love Jesus out here when you see him. You love Jesus from the book. You love Jesus in the spirit. Whose spirit? How come you can't love Jesus when you see him? You see? How come you can't love Jesus when you see him? Imagine Jesus coming with the clouds, with millions following it. And it was shot into another dimension called his mother. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? And it multiplied itself in the millions. What if you were that Jesus and you didn't know it? What if a single being was born and he came down to tell you that you are that? I hear people say, they talk about Christ, but they don't talk about what Christ mean, the word Christ mean. You see, they talk about Christ, but they don't talk about what it mean and where the Christos come from. Where did the word come from? You see, and why they use the word. What if you take that third off of that word, that third letter off of that word? It's a partial. It's like they took a third or something off of it, off of the 360. You see. And whatever. That's what it looked like. But I'm just saying. I'm just trying to understand this and try to figure it out, you see? But if you take the C off of that, what would it read? Would it read heist or Christ? You see? Because I know that T inside of there is in the column of 2, 11, and 20. You see? You have risk in there. You see? But it means anointed, right? Christ means anointed. So, above man is the Christ. You see? So you have to oil something up here. Or do you have to pretend that it's oil in the air and then it comes down to your head name or to your heaven? How do y'all do it? How would you comfort yourself mentally? You see? Could you comfort yourself mentally knowing that you were Jesus, knowing that you were the Christ, knowing that you embodied that whole story that you're reading about? But for some reason, you can't look at your neighbor and see Jesus. Or maybe you do look at your neighbor and see Jesus, but you have a lot of Roman things inside of you. You see? You have the Roman nature, you see, inside of you. You have Rome inside of you. Or you have the Rothschilds inside of you. Listen, I'm just trying to understand how these things work. You see, how these things work. You see, because there's people down here, legitimate people down here, that's not on social media like I am. But they know that I'm here too. And you won't see them. You see? Can you imagine them waiting on you to like love each other and gather together and sustain each other and become the energy of each other? You see? And support each other and become one big body like every other nationality? You see? Or every other people? You see? I was watching a video the other day when the brother, he was talking about how the Mexicans greet their people when they come to prison. You see, they help them with their bags, they help them get settled and all this other type of stuff. And the white guy, you know, saying the white people that's in prison, they when sometimes when white people come in there, they help them out, they talk to them, they comfort them. But when black people come inside the prison, you see, they're mean mugging him. They're ready to do something to him or you know, pervert him, you know, or whatever. Do something horrible to the being. You see, they're ready to eat him up. You see, he's a snitch, or he's probably a police, or he's probably this, and he's probably that. He's probably a molester and a pedophile. You know, who are you, nigga? You see. Isn't it something that hate made is living? They turned their hate into you. Can you imagine the hate that your ancestors here in this land experienced? You became that same hate to your own people, you see, and you don't want to be around your own people. So when you get to a certain height, you go to the people who used to hate your ancestors, you see. Can you imagine that hate for yourself? And you don't know it. You have PhDs, you got all this, all these accolades on your walls and things, and you're afraid. Can you imagine being afraid of your own self? And these are the majority of these people say they love Jesus. Can you imagine it coming down right before you, but can't say not one word about what he is and who he is because he got a job to do, and if he open his mouth, you gonna kill him. You gonna kill him. Or try to kill him. You see? Because I'm sure he got people out here that knows that he's here, so he won't be touched. And he got spirits out here, you saying, that knows that he exists. You see, you don't know he exists. When I hear people say that Jesus don't exist, they're right. You see, because these people are saying that these are black people that's saying it, and black don't exist to the laws. You see, you're dead to the laws. You're dead to every other nationality on this planet. You're dead to them. You see, they love your essence, but the flesh, you dead to these people. So Jesus don't exist to you, and he will never exist to you unless you figure out what they say Jesus is and just become it. You see, that's your trial. That's your last gate. All you got to do is just say who you are. Say who you are. And let that energy engulf you so you can see that one being pop out from amongst you. You see, you don't know it, do you? You better hurry up, because you got some things coming down. And they can hear you say that Jesus never existed. You see? And they're sitting up here looking at you. Say that you don't exist. You talking just like those who colonized your ancestors. You sound just like them. You don't exist, or who wrote laws against your development. You see? And you're not in there. Black ain't in there. They call themselves white. See, y'all supposed to be boxing. But see, no. You was comforted. They comfort you. You nice, gentle. You see, be a gentleman. You see, while they robbing you and shit. They say they still do the same thing. Did they talk to you? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah, no fire, no strength, none of that type shit. You're comforted. You're comforted. Did I say it right? I'm just talking to you. I'm just sitting here and let you know that there are people here on this planet that's watching you, and you don't know that they're watching you. You see, people, they're watching you. You see, you don't know that they're watching you. You see, they're watching you. You don't know it, do you? You don't know it. You see, you see yourself, and you just hate it. You hate seeing yourself. You see, isn't that something, how you hate seeing yourself? I mean, it's amazing though. But listen. Don't have fear. All you got to do is stay right where you are. Just stay right where you are. That's all I'm telling you. Just stay right where you are. In your beliefs. Stay where you are. Don't you move, goddammit. Don't you move. Stay right where you are. So you will know. So you can see. You see? So you can see your peoples out here. So you can see yourself. And you will know that it's an emergency, that you have to come together because there's something out here, you see, that's preparing to go to war. But they got to go through you first. And I don't think you're prepared for it according to what's happening out here in the world. You're not prepared for the war, the physical war. You see, they're going to go through other beings to get you. In a minute. Yeah.